I've gathered you all here today to look at your houses, to look at your homes. I posted on my Instagram yet again at Wasselpa, and I was like, send me all of the best home projects you've done, from renovations to painting a wall to creating your own art. Did you do some good DIYs? So no critiques, just looking at good design that's achievable. It's almost 4 p.m. I leave for Mexico City tomorrow. I guess by the time you're watching this, I think I'm back. So shout out to future Paige. Hopefully you had a good trip. Did you have a good trip? All right. First, we have this door. This had to be my first one because I love it. Obviously, a pop of red is so fun and kind of the thing, you know. I feel like we were doing it before it was the thing, but now it's the thing. And I just specifically love it on this door because it's not, you know, this really heavy wood door that you painted red. I feel like that's not really the approach you want to go with that. But just painting a simple window frame in that color, I love it. I think it's such a cool photo. I honestly thought it was not a real person's home. I thought it was I don't know, something from Pinterest, because sometimes people submit things that are, you know, from Pinterest or a professional project. This looks like a professional project. And I like how the inside is all, you know, like white or cream, and there's a little piano. We love it. We, all of us, we all love this. I don't think there's one person that's going to show up in the comments that doesn't like this, right? Someone thrifted this framed photo and I love it. I think a nice chrome frame is just ideal. And then some good matting, and who knows what that photo is. It's someone riding a bike, but you got the frame, you got the matting, you could put your own photo in it. I like the photo though. And I like the little placement that they did above this chair. Oh, I see a was pillow. Shout out. And I think that's the perfect, you know, touch. Sometimes you don't need, you know, a big pop of color right there. You can just blend it with the wall. I think it looks sophisticated and chic. Sometimes I use that word, chic. This person thrifted this wooden dresser with a mirror, $45. It's actually more so a vanity, but when I first saw this, I was like, wait, that kind of looks like a side table, and they put a mirror above it. I think it's all one piece, but kind of got me thinking you could turn a little table into a vanity pretty easily. I really like this find. I think it's really cute. And why not have a vanity if you can have one? I did have the desk in my room for a minute, but I never really sat there. I tried to make myself my own vanity, but I never really used it and I needed storage. So that is why I got rid of that desk. But shout out to that desk. That was a good desk. We loved that desk. You never can go wrong with a canopy bed, in my opinion. They're cozy, they're comfy, it's a good way to add fabric. This person made their own canopy bed out of sheets. I will say it does look good. I do think that this can go terribly wrong though, if you don't select the right fabric or if you go too crazy with a pattern or a color. I like how it's really subtle. I like the art in front of it, but I also think you didn't even need the art. You know, the canopy kind of does it all. I do like the art though, but just saying. I also like how the sconces are little lampshades. This is such a cozy little room. If this was you, obviously whoever did this, you, let us know how you did that down in the comments. Like, did you put a bar, like a curtain bar rod thing, or how did you do it? Because it does look cute. It do be looking cute. I feel like this little desktop area is really creative. I like how they put the no, it's not beat board. Why do I always forget the name of this? I literally have it. Whatever that is, that board thing. I have steel ones in my garage that I got off, I think like Amazon or something, but those look like, I think you can get those at Home Depot, and then you just buy the little hooks. And I really love how this looks. It feels, I don't know, like industrial. It feels like you're in a garage. You can hang your tape. You can hang little business cards, your scissors. I think why not have, you know, a fun wall? If your computer is against a wall, I do feel like you should do it up. I have like random ass shit hung here. Ideally, you know, you're not really looking at a wall when you're working on your computer. The ideal scenario is either you're looking out into a room or you're looking out into a window. When you're facing a wall, it's not ideal. So if your desk is facing a wall and you can have it not be, I suggest it. But if it is, this is actually a really cute little setup. I never really thought of putting it behind a computer. DIY headboard. First off, I feel like this room maybe painted chilled wine. I don't know. One of Kate's colors. But a DIY headboard is so easy. It's one of the first videos I ever did on YouTube. I made a headboard. I reupholstered it myself. I found, you know, I think it was like a old West Elm fabric headboard, and I just kind of stapled the fabric. And that's what it looks like this person did. And I say, why not? That is one of the easiest pieces of furniture to reupholster. You can't really reupholster a chair by yourself unless you know how to do it. But you could reupholster a headboard, and this looks really good. And I really like it. Did you thrift that fabric? Where'd you go for the fabric? Go to discount outlets. In any town, there's fabric discount outlets usually. But shout out to, what is it, Joanne that's closing? What's the fabric place? I think it's Joanne's closing nationwide. I do feel like there's better fabrics out there. Like you can go find, I don't know, especially when you only need like 2 yards. Go search, I don't know, whatever's local. You'd be surprised. It won't be that pricey. It gets pricey when you need a lot of yardage. Check out this painted IKEA cabinet. How did you paint it so well? How did you give it that nice gloss? Obviously, you can get gloss paint. That looks incredible. That looks not DIY at all. I think it's so fun that you painted it this like apple green. And when it comes to like a big wall unit like this, or anything IKEA, I guess, why not, you know, paint it or switch out the knobs or the handles or whatever it is. I don't know. Why not mess with IKEA, you know, or Wayfair or something you thrift. I say take some chances on those things. It's really the pieces that you invest in that like maybe you wouldn't want to like paint a design within reach wall unit, but this looks really good. And what's that color paint? Let us know. Okay, now we have a fun before and after. I love grabbing a before photo from like the apartment listing. I feel like when I show my Chicago place, I'm always showing something from the listing. The before, a gray little entry desk thing. I don't know. These were really popular, I feel like, in the 90s, like a little desk, like where you, when you first walk in. I guess it's not really technically a desk. It's kind of like a bar area. I don't know. Sometimes those spaces aren't super practical, but this person made it into a bar and it looks good. And they painted it red, which is really fun. I feel like on Pinterest, there's a lot of bars that have been painted red or orange. So there's a lot of good inspo for that. Really love it. Love the styling. I love their little clip-on lamp. I think this was a great use of space, and like check out that before and after. That's pretty good. This person just wanted to showcase their new Knoll coffee table, obviously a classic, and their IKEA shelving unit. And this is such a good example of investing in something that's designer and, you know, something that you know will be good quality and you'll like for a very long time, if not, you know, your whole life. And then throwing in an IKEA cabinet. Not everything needs to be super expensive. It's all about that mix. And IKEA, you know, I always love IKEA. I really think that they provide some good staples that you can just style out like they did. And that looks really, really good. This whole room is looking cute. And the candles and the shelf styling, all of the above. I give this a good old A+. A custom framed piece of art. I think they found it thrifted. Yeah, thrifted art, and then they got it framed. Hey, that's the key to filling up some wall space. Thrift a piece of art, thrift a poster, thrift something large, and get it framed, and voila, you have a big art piece. It's when you want to invest in like an artist, that's where it gets difficult, you know? That's where the prices go up because it's an artist. Like their work is going to be pricey. So when in doubt, go get a poster and get it framed, and thrift a poster and get it framed. Also, shout out Was Pillow. Once again. Also, I really like that little rug, kind of similar to my rug. Actually, pretty much the same thing. Mine's red though. Cool piece of art. Cool little nook area that you have going on over here. Little desk. Cute. Another IKEA built-in moment. I feel like there are a ton of DIY guides on like upgrading your IKEA cabinet or shelves. And this person got, I don't know what these cabinets, the names are, but they installed them with molding, and it makes them look like they're built-in. How good does that look? That's so fun. It really looks like they're built-in cabinets. I feel like I need to like do a video of making built-ins. I mean, not in this house, but would be fun. Like my brother just moved into a new place in Chicago. And so when I'm going there this summer, I was like, what project should we do? We were thinking of doing a custom-made banquette seating thing in his kitchen, but I also do built-in IKEA stuff. Let us know. He has good taste, so it will be a good video, I think. Hey, let's take a quick little break to talk about today's sponsor, Talkiatry. I don't know about you, but I'm always kind of struggling with my health insurance, especially when it comes to booking a therapist, a psychiatrist, all of that jazz. It's a huge process. And trying to figure out how to manage that, especially when you need help outside of yourself, it can be difficult. First off, they take over 200 plus insurance plans. So that's already, not the question, which is what I'm kind of always thinking. I'm like, does my insurance cover this? You can get care from the comfort of your own home through online and flexible scheduling. And if you're anything like me, when I was going through stuff, I was just putting this type of thing off. And while I've been in therapy, I also have a psychiatrist because I have specific medications I need. Your psychiatrist can set you up with a personalized medication plan. So it's just so comforting to know that it's all kind of in one place. Another great benefit of Talkiatry is that there are no monthly subscription fees. They have over 450 plus psychiatrists with an average of 10 years of experience, so you feel comfortable speaking with highly trained on-staff providers. They have made dealing with mental health approachable, relatable, and easily digestible so that you can get your mental health in check. Head to the link in my description or scan the QR code on my screen to go check out their services. And thanks again, Talkiatry, for sponsoring this video and helping us destigmatize mental health and medication and making it approachable. All right, now back to whatever I was talking about. Okay, here's a fun one. This person decided to paint their living room. And while the before also looks good, so does the after. I actually love the after a lot more because it adds some warmth and just character in general, but I also don't hate the before. I don't hate a white painted wall. I don't hate keeping walls white. I don't think you need to paint every room, but if you're looking to add some fun, color to a space or warmth or whatever it may be, I think they did an excellent job with this, and it just makes the wood pop. I just like it all. And I like their little window treatment. I think that this is a nice space. And I don't know if that's chilled wine. I think any like yellow pea color I see, I'm like, that's chilled wine, right? I thought this was a cute submission because it's such a simple touch. Newly hung art. That's it. They just hung that little piece of art there. I say, hang a little piece of art above your stove or, above your like bathroom sink or your kitchen sink or a little mirror. Look how cute that looks. It just adds some touch of personality to maybe an outdated or more simple space. I think this looks really cute. And I love that, I'm getting submissions from people who are, doing built-ins, but also people who are just like, look at this piece of art I hung because it does look good. And it does give me that interior design high. This person is just showing off their space and they deserve it because I think what they did is super unique in the way they did like bistro curtains around, the area. And then they have like this, I don't know what this is, like another little curtain room divider type thing. And I just like how they kind of balled out on the curtains. I think they look really good. It also feels just very French or like European. I just love the way this room feels as a whole. They also don't have a ton of color in their space, but this is a great example of how to make a room feel warm and cozy without adding in color, basically. Lots of warm camel tones, creams, and at the end of the day, a lot of the warmth comes from these really cool curtains. So maybe you get some curtains, you know? If you're looking to add some warmth, you can add a warm color, but you also can add a textile and good lighting. I thought this was a fun little transformation because they said they did almost all of it themselves. They had to redo the flooring, which I think turned out really nice. They, painted the walls. What else did they do? They had to sand the walls. And then they installed this shelving unit, which I really love in that little placement. I think that old fireplace thing, it's like a boarded up fireplace, is kind of like a interesting divider for the room. And I kind of like when that happens. Like I like a random thing instead of a flat wall. And I think they utilize the space really nicely. That shelving unit is kind of like a piece of art, It's not like the setup is revolved around that unit where there's like a TV and stuff. It's just a cool shelving unit in a cool section of the room. Love it. Okay, this person has a little nook above, I don't know, the bathroom or some area. I think they're in the bedroom. I used to be really into climbing up above, in closets, just, have like little nooks or areas up there. And most people put like baskets. When I was younger, we would go to my dad's like best friend's lake house or something. And there's just like so many photos of us up in that nook. Don't know why. I think it's just fun to be in like a little space. But look what they did to this nook. They painted it green. Those shelves, like those wonky shelves were already there. And I feel like most people would be like, what the fuck is going on with this shelving unit? It is a little confusing. Why is it so wonky? I don't know. But they just painted it all and styled it in a way where I'm like, whoa, I love the little shelving unit. And then look at the little light shining. I feel like that sconce could get replaced with something with like a shade or something so that the light isn't just like shining up onto the ceiling. But I think they did such a good job, and I love the color, and the bedding is fun. I feel like I would want to sleep up there. If that's my everyday bed, I don't know if I can do ladders in the middle of the night. I'm actually not one to really get up in the middle of the night to go pee or anything. So maybe I could do it. I don't know. It's just too much effort. But good little like guest nook, Good little guest nook. Or if that's really the only space for a bed, then hey, you did it good. Here's someone's recent thrift haul. It looks like they hit some jackpot with lamps, basically. And I am interested to see if that shade is really going to make a big comeback. The pleated shade, it already has in one way, where they really modernized it, but having that shade with an old lamp already, is that, going to make a big statement? I don't know. I like it. I think it looks good. I think lamp shades in general can go in and out of style pretty quickly. So I don't feel like I'm ever really judging a lampshade too hard. I feel like I'm judging the bulb you have inside. But anyways, is that a Tiffany lamp? Because classic, just a classic Tiffany lamp. Oh, I should, so my parents in their Chicago place, they had this light fixture that looked like kind of like a broom. Do you remember that from their, I did like a home tour. Check out this fucking home. Anyways, the fixture broke. It was old. It was the old owner's fixture, and it was non-repairable, which makes sense. It has like a million like little bulbs. It's like a little broom. I actually grew to kind of like that fixture. At first I was like, I don't know about it, but I don't know. I kind of liked how they had these like weird modern fixtures in this like old Chicago place. But anyways, I have been trying to help my parents find a new fixture for months now. And the issue we were having is that it needed to be decently big, and they're on a budget. They're not looking to just drop a bunch of money on a fixture. So it was really hard to find something big for a good price. But I ended up finding this guy. It kind of, the Tiffany lamp reminded me of this, but it's kind of like this Frank Lloyd Wright, I don't know, fixture. I think it looks really good. It was really fucking hard to find something. So let me know your opinions on that down below. I think it looks really good. It's not in the modern direction that we were trying to go in, but the budget's tight and the fixture's big, and I do like it. And I knew my mom would like it because she's very much so into that style. I haven't seen it in person, but I think I am going to like it. And even if I don't like it now, I feel like I'm going to like it in 10 years when it circles back in. But what do you think? This person sewed placemats from thrifted curtains from the thrift store. I love it. A little plaid, little placemat. You know, I've never really gotten into sewing that much. I do sew. I go through phases where I will sew something, but I'm not a fan of it like getting jammed. I feel like anytime I sew, it just jams within minutes. But if you like to sew, I wish I liked to sew more. Make yourself some placemats. That's actually a really good starter thing because it's just, a rectangle. But yeah, wish I liked sewing more, or knitting. I took up knitting for a second. I just don't know if I'm down that path. But I will sew or repair. If there's a rip in something, I do know how to do that. So one day I could be a mother, hopefully to a child and not a man. This person thrifted a nightstand and I love it. My nightstands are from IKEA and they have the white top. And at first I was like, is this really white? But I've been really into that look now, having a white laminate top to something. So I really like this nightstand. The wood is great. The handles are great. All around, love it. Love the black, white, wood combo. I'm also really into black and red right now. Black and red. I released a tote bag that was black and red. It actually was one of the least popular bags to be purchased, but I just think I'm ahead of the game with the black and red. I would say go purchase the bags, but we're sold out. I did save a decent amount to sell at the vintage store / where I'm going to sell Was products once I get my shit together. This is a fun thrift find, in my opinion. It's a postcard holder, which is cool. I bet it was a display stand for postcards. I've never really thought of that. If you collect postcards or, I don't know, anything little like that, or just cards in general, actually, that's such a cute idea because I feel like, you're always getting random birthday cards, shit like that. I have a little memory box that I keep things in. But that's such a good idea. I mean, if you find it, to thrift a postcard holder. That's so cute. Are you going to hang it? What are you going to do with it? It's cute. You have a lot of postcards also. Good ones. Check it out. Another little reupholstery project that we all could do, but we choose not to. Well, sometimes I choose. But yeah, you just need a staple gun and they say a glass of wine on a Monday and you can reupholster a stool. Reupholstering a stool is actually so easy because it's small. You also could easily find really cool fabric for that, whether you go to a Goodwill and you can, thrift a curtain like that person did for their placemats. Find an old jacket, an old flannel sweater. You don't need a lot of, fabric for that. I want to reupholster my bar stools. I have not gotten around to it. I've just been busy. And also because it's such a small section of fabric, I'm I could do something really cool. So also Etsy has a lot of good vintage fabrics too. So shout out. Something drew me into this specific photo because it's a linen white sofa, which is something I don't normally gravitate towards, or this more cool tone style in general. I was just pulled in. Lots of, grays and blues, and the art is very, cool toned also. I just think this is a nice way to show that you can incorporate gray. I'm sure, if you have leftover gray from that fad, this is a good example of how to kind of, pull it all together. And there's not really warm colors. There's some good lighting, I guess, that, maybe make it feel a little creamier, but whatever they did They did right. So good example if you're trying to, just like warm up your space or cozy your space with a lot of grays and whites. Another cute little dining decor area that someone sent in. One, the mirror is amazing. That cabinet is so fun. It looks like you painted it. And I love the glass table. All of this is so cute. It's funny because I guess it's not funny, but I just like can't get into pink still, as you know. Please don't get rid of pink because of me. I'm not saying get rid of pink, but like my first instinct was like, I would have done something else than those pink lights, but I think they look really cute with all of the rest of the color palette. I can appreciate their selection. You know what I mean? I appreciate it and I like it. Check out another DIY headboard before and after. I love what they did. I think it looks so good. That stripe, they perfectly lined the stripes. And did they add in those blinds? Nope, they had those blinds. They had that light fixture. They just changed the mood of the bed. I like the blue-green bedding also. I think it looks great, but the addition of the stripe and, those colors look really good. They honestly could throw the blue bedding on there too, and it still would look good. What a fun fabric you found. It's fun when you find something stripe or, I don't know, something like a little different than just something plain. That looks like an expensive headboard from somewhere or like a vintage headboard. So good job. I love it. These are ceramic frames DIY. How the hell did you make a ceramic frame? I guess if you know how to do that stuff, that's cool. I love how it fits a tiny little photo. I love the ceramic colors and the finish. They're kind of shiny. How'd you do that? Unless if you're not a professional in pottery or a ceramicist, how did you do it? I don't think I'm that good at DIYs, but sometimes I can. So how did you do it? This person got this piece of art and this cabinet from Facebook Marketplace. What a find. I have actually been kind of on the hunt on Facebook Marketplace for art lately because I found those 3 pieces that are kind of by my bathroom. So now I kind of like trust in Facebook Marketplace for art. Weirdly. That's such a cool piece of art. Are those like saws? I feel like they're saws. I don't know. I love that piece. It's so cool. And it's above a really cool record player table. What a find, What a find. We love it. We love that piece. That's that is a really cool piece of art to find on Facebook. How much did you pay? Another really good desk setup where you're not looking at a blank wall. How fun. They thrifted these shelves, which I feel as though if you saw this in a thrift store or a Goodwill or whatever, you wouldn't really necessarily think like, let's turn them, vertical and like hang them like this. I love that. I love everything they did. It actually reminds me of a really giant version of those like thimble boards. You know those things? They're like mini boards that you keep thimbles in. I think they go actually on a table or like in a drawer, but sometimes people put them on walls. I don't know. It looks like a giant version of that. I love it. I think it looks really cool. I think it's unique. And again, you're not, looking at a blank wall. You gotta inspire yourself. What's in front of you? I have this. Oh. This is so random, actually. This photo I just found in a book that I have. And I was like, that's kind of cool. But it's like, I don't really know. I feel like for a second I was like, I'll frame this. But then I was like, wait, why? Maybe I should. Another submission of just general decor. And again, so cute. The little bistro, are they called bistro? Cafe curtains. Cafe curtains look really good right there. I feel like a lot of people, look at windows like that and they don't understand, not to put curtains, like large curtains, especially behind your bed. You can't close that. Can't close that. And then don't get like mid-length ones. Cafe curtains look so cute. You still get some light. And your only other option really is blinds. That's so cute. Little lamp. The bedding is really good. I think we have that same bedding. Is that Zara Home? You know what? If you go to Zara Home right now, they did get some new bedding in that I'm really into. There's like a few different stripey things where I'm like, I have a blanket that's one of those patterns that I got literally like 10 years ago, and they just brought it back. So vintage. It's vintage. And then this little area with the bamboo blinds and curtains with a little vintage floral pattern. The art is really cool back there. And, somehow I like that cactus. I think it's kind of wonky. I feel like I would never put a cactus in my house because it's just too California or something for me. I can't have any plant. If anything, I probably could have a cactus because they don't require a lot of work, or like a succulent. But I like it. It looks really cute. This whole corner looks cute. Also, I like the wall color. And that's that. And that's it. And now I have to go pack because I'm going to Mexico City tomorrow. I'm so stoked. I need a vacation. Or I'm going to fucking lose my mind. But yeah, what was I going to say? Did you like the video? I feel like one of my favorite videos to film are people submitting good decor, because it's all, achievable or like done ourselves or whatever. So keep on sending them over. A lot of you have been sending like design advice submissions, which I do want to do that again, but those videos just take so much time and I don't have time right now. So we'll do it soon. But anyways, I'll see you on the next one. I don't know what's going on video-wise after this. If you have any suggestions, if you have anything you want to see or for me to talk about, or do you want to hear me blab, or do you want me to go somewhere, let me know. Bless and goodbye. And I did get my hair cut a little shorter, and I tried styling it. I've been running around all day, so I couldn't really style it. And I was like, this is what it is. But shout out to Pablo at Rock Paper Salon, Echo Park. He's the best. Okay. Goodbye.